Hi yogis, Amanda Mays here with your Yin-Yasa class. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today for our practice. Today you'll just need a yoga mat. I've got a water bottle and then 2 to 4 couch pillows or pillows from your bedroom. We'll use those in the second part of our class, the Yin portion. And the first part, our Vinyasa class. Let's dive right in. So we'll get started from a seat. I really like to prop one of these pillows up underneath my glutes. You can just sit cross-legged if that feels comfortable. If not, you could always extend your legs out long in front of you. You could actually even, if you really wanted to, remove that pillow and sit with your glutes on your heels. We'll be here for about 5 minutes, so find a spot that feels comfortable to you as we begin with our opening meditation for breath. You can wiggle and shake your sits bones down into your cushion or into the ground. Begin to close over your eyes. Today's class will focus on the 5th chakra, and in Sanskrit it's pronounced Vishuddha. It's located directly at our throat, and it's the area where all of our communication comes from. Our ability to be heard, creative and self-expression. It's where we feel most secure in sort of sharing the desires of our heart and the thoughts of our mind directly with our speech. So in our yoga practice today, we'll focus on this part of our body physically. But we'll also begin to consider maybe some of the insecurities we have, the things that are holding us back from speaking our truth. We'll start with dog's breath today. We've actually done it together when we were all in person in class with Vikel. But if you weren't there, that's okay too. We'll just start together here. You can keep your eyes closed. That kind of helps sometimes. And this breath is exactly as it sounds, so we'll actually pant like a dog for 3 rounds, guided. I'll let you know when we're done with each. So first, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Stick your tongue out and begin to pant. Quick inhales and exhales through your mouth. Feel your core contract as you do this. Continue with your dog's breath. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Second round of your dog's breath. Stick your tongue out and begin to pant. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last one, let's hit it. Take a cleansing breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Just breathe normally here. Notice if you feel anything different. If you could hear the pitch of my voice, my tone actually changed in between rounds as I tried to speak to you because of the breath, because of this exercise. Maybe you feel calm and clear or a little bit elevated in your energy. Just notice. And we'll shift our style of breath to Ujjayi breathing, the one that we utilize in our Vinyasa yoga practice. So together, take a strong inhale through your nose. Keep your lips sealed. Ujjayi breath back out through your nose. Continue with this rhythmic breath. Inhales through your nose. Slow and steady exhales through your nose. On your next Ujjayi inhale, come up to Tabletop Pose. You'll need to scoot one of those pillows off to the side. In your Tabletop Pose, stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and draw your gaze down. Inhale for Cow Pose, drop your belly down. Create a big arch in your low spine and then look up, gaze high. We're activating your thyroid with your chest and your throat open here. Exhale for cat pose, round, tuck, and curl. Tuck your chin into your chest, press your belly button through to your low spine. Feel the opposition here. Again, inhale, cow pose, belly drops, gaze goes up. Exhale, cat pose, round, tuck, and curl your chin in. Last time, breathe in, cow pose. Exhale, find cat. Inhale, come through to a neutral tabletop pose. Yogis, begin to sort of step your legs back so you can slither your chest all the way down to the ground for earth hug pose. Once you're down on the ground, just listen to the sound of my voice. Take your right arm out by your side like a wing, or kind of like half of a goalpost. So right arm out. Same with your opposite leg. So left leg comes out by your side like a goalpost or a cactus. And then your other arm and leg are just kind of straight. Today, yogis, drop your chin to the mat in front of you. And then see if you can find some release by using your breath through your shoulders and hips as you allow them to surrender towards the ground. If this hurts your neck, you can place one ear to the ground or the other. Wherever you are, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. We'll come back through center to swap sides. So on this side, earth hug pose, draw your left arm out by your side like a goalpost or a little cactus arm. And then you'll do the same thing with your opposite leg. So right leg comes out by your side like a goalpost or a little cactus arm. And then your other arm and leg are just straight. You can draw your chin to the mat or place one ear, maybe the other. Yogis, play around, customize. Let this practice be an expression of who you are, what your body needs. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, draw all of your limbs back through center. Plant your palms by your sides and tuck your toes on the mat behind you. Press yourself back up to tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips nice and high. Our very first down dog of class today. Find a dance. Take movements in your body that feel really good as you're just warming up. Maybe your first yoga practice of the day or the week. You ready? Find some stillness in our first downward facing dog. Gaze behind you. Ensure the ball mounds of your feet completely are on the mat. Lift your heels slightly and then place a generous bend into your kneecaps. Pull your hips towards the back of your room. Notice how that shifts your chest towards your thighs. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or step your feet to the top of your space for Ragdoll Pose there. Keep your feet hips width distance or wider. Bend your knees a lot to draw your belly towards your thighs. Release your head and neck to hang heavy. You can stay here in stillness today, or option to just sway from side to side if movement is calling to you. Check back in with your Ujjayi breath, yogis. Is it still there? Your next inhale, begin to roll and rise to stand. One vertebrae at a time. Once you're at the top, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Relax them back and down your spine. Press your hands together at your heart and close over your eyes for Samastitihi, standing at attention pose. Yogis, let's set the intention, the mantra for our class today. See if you can commit to utilizing this practice as an expression of you, your heart, and your true self. Use that through your breath and your movements, and through whatever mantra you continue to set for yourself throughout our class. With that intention in mind, take a big breath in, and a big breath out. Inhale, seal your lips, seal in your intention. Ujjayi, exhale. And flutter your eyes open. Release your palms down by your sides. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Extend your fingertips up and overhead. Gaze up or gaze out. Just pause and breathe here. Notice how the expression of this pose, your first standing posture, is unique to your body. Let it feel strong and good as you press through your feet, feel your quads fire on, and then lift up as you extend an inch higher out of your pelvis. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, yogis, we'll take eagle arms on the right. So swing your right arm underneath the left. You can wrap your arms until your palms touch if that feels good. If it does not, place your hands to your shoulders for a variation here. As you breathe in, lift your elbows and your gaze nice and high towards the sky. Maybe activate a slight back bend here in your low spine. And as you exhale, sit low into your legs, chair pose in your legs, round tuck and curl at your spine, and draw your elbows in towards your belly, gazes down. Again, inhale, lift all the way up, a back bend with eagle arms. Exhale, fold, round, and sit nice and low. Inhale, back to mountain pose, unravel your arms. We'll try it on the other side. Eagle on the left, swing your left arm underneath the right, wrap arms until palms touch, or place your hands to your shoulders. Lift your elbows, lift your gaze and your chest. Take a big breath in, find a tiny back bend here. Exhale, round at your spine, sit low in your legs, work to tuck your elbows in towards your belly as you gaze down. Again, breathe in, lift up, elbows high, tiny back bend at the top. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl, sit nice and low in your legs. All right, unravel, inhale, mountain pose, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, draw your hands to your heart as you hinge from your hips. Breathe in, halfway lift. Place your hands to your shin bones and gaze down. Yogis, drive the crown of your head forward. Feel that do two things, create space in your back, but also shift the weight towards the tops of your feet. Take a big breath in. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl. Tent your fingertips out in the mat in front of you. Come high on your tippy toes as you bend deep into your knees, and then find a seat with your glutes on your heels. Some options, you can continue to reach your palms out in front of you. If you do, though, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your chin into your chest. A second option, wrap your forearms around your shin bones. Give yourself a squeeze, but also a balance challenge here. Take one breath in and one breath out. Let's flow together. Drop your heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands to your shin bones. Exhale, forward fold to neutralize your spine. Breath to movement. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, lift all the way up. Exhale, eagle pose on the right. Swing your right arm underneath the left. Inhale, lift your elbows, lift your gaze, find a tiny back bend. Exhale, sit nice and low in your chair. Tuck your elbows in towards your belly and gaze down. Inhale, rise, mountain pose, lift up. Exhale, eagle on the left. Swing your left arm underneath the right. Find that variation if you need to. Breathe in, lift your gaze, lift your elbows, tiny back bend. Exhale, sit nice and low in your legs, round your elbows and your spine. Release, inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, lift up. Exhale, forward fold, nice and slow towards the ground. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl. Find that tiny seat with your glutes on your heels. One more time through, drop your heels. Inhale, halfway lift, place your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold, release your spine. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, lift all the way up. Exhale, eagle arms on the right, swing your right arm underneath the left. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your elbows and your chest. Exhale, sit nice and low in your legs as you round your spine and tuck your elbows in. Inhale, rise, mountain pose, Tadasana, re-extend. Exhale, eagle arms on the left. Swing your left arm underneath the right. Breathe in, lift up, find that tiny back bend. Exhale, round at your spine, sit low in your legs. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Listen for the change. Exhale, high plank pose. Crawl your palms up and step to top of a push-up position. Breathe in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Set your hips nice and high. In your downward facing dog, reset with a breath in and a breath out. Let's move on. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Breathe in, halfway lift, place your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold and release your back. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana Yogi, sit nice and low. This time reach your arms out in front or straight up overhead, whatever feels better in your shoulders. It always feels better for me to have my wrists in line with my shoulders. Gaze down at your feet. I like hips with distance. It just gives my glutes some more space to drop low in between my hips here. And then see if you can drop your hips in line with your kneecaps, but lift your chest and your gaze up. Take a big breath in. Yogis, exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. You'll step your left toes back and behind you. If you feel wobbly, that's okay. We've got some time here. Shorten and widen your stance. That'll give you some more stability at your base. Keep your back heel lifted off the mat. A deep lunge in this front knee. Everyone tilt your chest forward as you gaze down, and then press your shoulder blades together behind you. You look great. Take a breath in, and a breath out. Inhale, star pose, open up towards your left side. Draw your heels in, your toes out, and reach your arms up and overhead. Pause for a moment. Notice what's going on with your low back. You can see my butt is dipped back slightly, so it's creating this big arch in my low spine. I'll want to scoot my tailbone underneath me and then lift up and out from here. The other variation could be that maybe your pelvis has scooted forward, so you'll want to shift it underneath you and lift up. Squeeze your belly, gaze high, breathe in. Exhale, warrior two towards the front of your mat. Pivot your back foot flat. Keep a 90-degree bend in your front knee. Gaze at that back foot. See if you can allow your toes to point in slightly so that your hip has the space to point in the same direction as your back foot. Front toes point towards me. Gaze over your right fingertips. Take a big breath in. A big breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Send your right arm high towards the sky and look up at it. See if you can maintain the same warrior leg. So if you lost some of that lunge in the front knee, rebend there. And then lift up and out of your hips. Feel your chest grow taller, but relax your right shoulder away from your earlobe. Take a big breath in. Exhale, high plank pose. Plant your palms to the mat and step your right toes back. Breathe in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, downward, facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Breathe in, halfway lift, flatten your back. Exhale, fold and feel some release. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low, reach up or out, and then just pause. Again, feet hips with distance really helps me here, especially because of the posture that we're transitioning into after this. Gaze down, make sure you can see your toes. Squeeze your belly, think up dog in your chest as you lift your gaze. Nice work. Take a breath in. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. This time, step your right toes back and behind you. So yogis, this should feel like your feet are on 2 train tracks instead of 1 long tightrope. That way you can feel, see, a little bit more stable here. Keep your back heel lifted off the mat. Maybe a slight bend in this back leg to keep it really active. And then press through your front foot to feel even distribution of weight here. Gaze is down, arms back and behind you. Press an imaginary beach ball in between your hands. Take a big breath in. A big breath out. Inhale, star pose. Open up, draw your heels in, toes out, arms reach up and overhead. Check in with your back again. Scoot your butt underneath you. Breathe in, lift higher. Exhale, warrior two towards the front of your mat. Pivot your back foot flat. Maintain that deep lunge in your front knee. Yogis, as you look down, see if you can put both heels on one long line, ensuring you have heel to arch alignment. This back foot can point in slightly, and then press through both feet as if you're going to rip the mat apart. That way your quads turn on, but also you've got even distribution of weight in both legs. Reach out through your arms. Make sure your biceps and triceps are fired on here. Take a breath in. A breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Send your left arm high towards the sky and then look up at it. See if you can shift your chest to square off towards the right side of your space. Little to no weight in this back hand that's resting on your thigh. Look up and relax your left shoulder away from your earlobe. Take a big breath in. Exhale, high plank pose, top of a push-up position. Step back and hold. And breathe in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Yogis will flow that whole series breath to movement 2 times through on the right and 2 times through on the left. Let's do it together. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Breathe in, halfway lift, place your hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold to release your spine. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low, reach up or out. Exhale for crescent lunge with airplane arms. Step your left toes on the mat behind you. Inhale, star pose, open up, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2 towards the front of your mat. And breathe in, reverse warrior, right arm high towards the sky. Exhale, high plank pose, windmill your palms to the mat and step your right toes back. Breathe in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or crawl to the top of your mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms, right toes step back and behind you. You've got it. Inhale, star pose, open up. Exhale, warrior 2 towards the front of your mat. Breathe in, reverse warrior, left arm lifts. Exhale, high plank pose, top of a push-up, and hold there. Breathe in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. And 1 breath out. 1 more time each side. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sit low. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms, left toes step behind you. Inhale, star pose, open up. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front of your mat. And breathe in, reverse warrior, right arm lifts. Exhale, high plank pose, top of a push-up and hold. And breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your down dog, our last side, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. You've got this. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms, right toes step behind you. Inhale, star pose, open up. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front. Breathe in, reverse warrior, left arm lifts. Exhale, high plank pose and hold. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, take a big breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Again, inhale. Open mouth exhale. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, drop down to a seat on your mat. Grab some water if you have it. Towel off any sweat if you need. All right, yogis, let's hop into a quick 1-minute core series here. And then we'll begin to transition into the yin part of our class. So for our core series, roll all the way down until your spine reaches the ground. Once your spine is on the mat, plant the sole of your left foot down, cross your right leg over the left for eagle crunches. Draw your right arm underneath the left, just like we did on our legs. Wrap arms until palms touch, or place your hands to your shoulders. Point your elbows high towards the sky. Keep your gaze up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, crunch as you lift your elbows towards your knees at center. Squeeze at the top. Inhale, lower back down. Open mouth, exhale, crunch and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep moving like this. Eagle crunches on the right side. Make contact between your elbows and your knees at the top. Squeeze your belly. Feel your core contract. Give yourself a big hug at the top. Right side only. We'll swap sides shortly. Crunch and squeeze just for 4. Swapping sides in 3. Last 2. And last one, no hesitation, yogis. Plant the sole of your right foot down. Cross your left leg over the right. Draw your left arm underneath the right. Find whatever variation feels good in your body. Take a breath in. Open mouth, exhale, crunch and lift. Inhale, lower. Open mouth, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep moving like this, yogis. Our last little bit of core here. Eagle crunches on the left. We're about to move into our yin part of class where everything will slow down. So see if you can get the most out of this last little active part of our series. Lift up and lower down. Just a few more. Squeeze and crunch for 4. Just for 3. Last 2. And last one, unravel your legs and your arms. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take a full body stretch. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, send it out. Again, breathe in. Open mouth, exhale, breathe out. Inhale, gather your knees into your chest. Begin to rock and roll the length of your mat 2, maybe 3 times. On that second or third rock, yogis, cross your ankles, plant your palms, and then draw your knees back for Tabletop Pose. All right, headed into our first yin shape of class, making that transition to a much slower part of our practice here today. Puppy Pose, Anahatasana, also known as Heart Melting Pose, is our first shape. So yogis, from your Tabletop Pose, rest your forearms on the ground out in front of you, and then you'll rest your forehead on the mat. Continue to reach your palms forward so that you feel your chest continue to drop low towards the ground. We've got some options here today. We have these pillows. If you'd like, you can reach your arms forward on the pillow and rest your head here. Lifting you off of the ground a little bit with this pillow just kind of decreases the intensity of the stretch. Most importantly, yogis, make sure that your hips stay stacked high over your kneecaps. So I'll give you a side view. So from your Tabletop Pose, rest your forearms and your forehead down. This pillow actually feels really great underneath my forearms today because my shoulders are a little bit tight. And so having that slight elevation will enable me to stay there for longer. Yogis, we've got 4 minutes in this posture. So if you're still utilizing your Ujjayi breath, maintain it if it's allowing you to stay focused here. Otherwise, swap to a more natural, easy breath, one that feels like a lot less effort and a lot more ease. If you feel or notice your mind beginning to drift, that's okay. That's the function of the mind. It travels and thinks and moves within. But maybe today you rock your forehead from side to side on the ground, not only massaging away any tension in this space, but in an effort to reconnect physically and mentally that part of you back to this space, to the 4 corners of your mat. I'll let you know when we're halfway. If you're still holding or clenching on to muscles here that don't need to be active, what is there for you to let go of? If you feel any pain or tension through your shoulders and you're not using a pillow, now would be a great time to play around as you scoop that pillow out in front of you and then utilize it as a space for your forehead and your forearms to rest on top of. We're halfway there. Stay with me. Maybe begin to crawl your arms back underneath you. Press through your palms. We'll find tabletop pose. And then right away in your tabletop pose, draw your big toes to touch. Open your knees out wide and sink your glutes towards your heels. So we'll head back into child's pose, but today use your pillows because we'll be here for about 3 minutes. I like to kind of create a little pillow bridge out in front of me for my belly and my chest to kind of rest onto. And today, yogis, if your arms are feeling a little bit tense from that puppy pose, you can take embryo's pose. So I'll show both. Child's pose, you'll hinge forward, rest your belly on your pillows, your head, and your arms forward. If this feels like a lot in your shoulders, you guys, embryo's pose, you'll just reach your arms along your sides and then back and behind you. We'll be here for 3 minutes in your child's pose. Because of that, maybe that requires you to draw your knees a little bit closer, knowing that we'll be here for longer, and then hinge forward. If you've got space between your glutes and your heels, you could always prop a pillow between the two to make it a little bit more comfortable. More ease here, yogis. Less effort. Yogis, if you're wanting to open up more through your throat, you've got the option in this posture today to just drop your chin to your pillows. If this hurts your neck at any time, replace your forehead or one of your ears down. But if you'd like to continue to open up through this space, maybe even play around with it just for a minute while we're here, draw your chin down. Halfway there. Slow as you can, yogis, begin to rock yourself back up to a seat. You'll place your pillows off to the side of your space. Come back through your tabletop pose, hands to the mat. And then just to get the blood flowing, begin to tap the tops of your feet down on the ground behind you. When you're ready, shift to one hip or the other as you scoot your legs out in front of you. With your legs out in front of you, yogis will take butterfly pose, our next yin shape. Press the soles of your feet to touch and open your knees out nice and wide. And then you'll take your pillows here, I almost called them blocks, and stack them in front of you. Today in our butterfly pose, we'll use these pillows as a spot for our forearms to rest, because the goal today is to sit nice and high through our chest, nice and tall, lifted through our spine. You could always scoot a pillow underneath each of your kneecaps. And up from our butterfly pose, from a seat today, we'll take some neck stretches. So take the time you need to settle into this pose with all your pillows and props. And when you're ready, join me as you tuck your chin into your chest and gaze down. We'll stay like this for a minute. If at any time you feel dizzy or your neck hurts, just come back up with the crown of your head high in a neutral seat, a neutral neck. When you're ready, begin to lift your head and neck up. And then join me as we head to the opposite direction. Drop your head and neck back, gaze high, chin towards the sky. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Think about pressing your sits bones down into the ground. That way you feel really stable at your base. Safer to open up through your neck. Notice how vulnerable it might feel to have your neck exposed in this way. Or maybe it feels really secure. We have such an opportunity with our communication to help or harm those with our words that are around us. Yoga kind of gives us this opportunity to pause and reflect, so that we can respond instead of react. When we come to yoga and we take it with us off of our mats, each time we go to use our words, we can think, is it kind? Is it necessary? Next inhale, draw your head and back, your neck rather, back through center. Now we'll just drop it off towards the right side of your space. So release your right ear towards your right shoulder. Draw your chin a little bit towards center as you kind of gaze high with your eyes. But you can certainly keep your eyes closed if that helps with all the distractions in your house. This new normal for this space that you practice in. draw your head back through center, find neutral first. And then our last side, drop your head, your neck off towards the left side. So drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Rotate your chin slightly more towards center as you draw your gaze up just for a moment. Wherever our eyes go, our neck and head tend to follow. They're, of course, attached. But even the slightest, tiniest muscles will begin to follow that gaze. And so that's when we look up. We're creating more space through the right side of our neck. Drop both shoulders down, relax them. Sink further into your seat. Keep a tall chest. Lift your head back towards center. Maybe do a little shimmy and shake as you kind of roll your neck around, nice and slow with control and with ease. When you're ready, place these pillows off towards the side of your space. You'll just straighten your legs out long in front of you for caterpillar pose. So yogis who did my last Yin-Yasa class, I received some feedback, so thank you so much for that. We'll try something new here today in an effort to kind of take some of that feedback into consideration. Take a pillow underneath your butt. Let's sit on that. And then in your caterpillar pose, one pillow underneath your knees. So we're just kind of giving ourselves lots of support here. Hopefully you've still got a few pillows left. You can rest those on top of you. Perfect. Yogis, think about rounding your spine forward. So the most inactive version of this stretch that you can find. As you kind of release into your worst posture, maybe hug your pillows and rest your chin, your forehead, or one of your ears down onto them. And then you can play around with different levels here. So maybe this feels good in your back, but not in your legs. Try to remove that pillow from underneath you and release. Or maybe this feels good in your legs, but not in your back. So you keep the pillow underneath your butt and you remove the pillow from underneath your kneecaps. Remember, this practice is the opportunity to express you, what your body needs. There's no perfect way for this shape to look. What's perfect is what feels like sensation in your body, not pain. Yogis, because we're in an inactive posture here, allow your knees to bend, open up. Same with your ankles, nice and wide. And release forward. We'll be here for 4 minutes. We've already been here for nearly a minute. Yogis, if you remember when we were all in class together talking about the chakras, they are the 7 main intersecting points of the hundreds of thousands of lines of energy that run through all of our bodies. And this is in yoga, but also in Chinese medicine. And so if we think about the 5th chakra, the one that resides in our throat that we've been focusing on through our class here together today, it's amazing to think that at this center, all of the energy from our expression, who we are, gets to be communicated from here. The throat chakra is this bridge between us, meaning the truest and highest form of us, and humanity. It's where we make that link between who we are and what we've got to share. Lots of times it's really easy to think that we should express similarly to those around us, what society tells us. But yogis, deep down inside of us, there is the self, the soul, that's unique to only you. It's that thing that you've got to share with the rest of the world. And so as you continue to come back to your yoga space to maybe contemplate, reflect, find pause or relaxation, you're connecting with that true self inside of you, away from distraction, from all of those things in reality that pull you elsewhere. Here we can reconnect with you and calibrate so that as you share through this chakra, it's you. We're halfway there. You can continue to adjust if you need. Maybe intensify the stretch, remove a pillow from the top. Ready, begin to roll yourself back up to a seat. Place your props off to the side of your mat. Then meet me in Tabletop Pose once more. Begin to slither our way all the way down to the ground until your belly reaches the mat. When you're here, Sphinx Pose is our next yin shape. Place your forearms on the ground out in front of you. Stack your shoulders over your elbows and allow your wrists to hang out in front. Everything that's behind you from the hips down, shake it out. So your glutes, your quads, your calf muscles, and your ankles. And yogis, if you'd like to intensify here, you can take seal pose. I'll demonstrate. You'll reach your palms out in front of you. Right, just scoot back a little. And keep your forearms lifted off of the mat. It'll look like this. If you are in seal pose, even Sphinx today, everyone keep your head and neck at neutral or drop your head and neck back as we continue to open up through our throats. We'll be here for 2 minutes, so you choose or maybe take each posture for 1 minute. If you're squeezing or holding on to your glutes, your hip flexors in an effort to try to protect your back, see if you can let go here. Feel your hips as they surrender further towards the mat. Your belly as it releases even more. right, yogis, begin to release your chest to the mat. We'll just flip over so that you're on your spine. Once your spine is on the ground, gather your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Release your left leg long down on the mat in front of you. Hug your right knee up and around your right hip. Feel a nice pinch there in your right hip flexor as you draw your knee over to the right and then up towards you. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, drive your right leg all the way across your body. We're finding reclining twist pose. You may know it as supine twist, a little bit different here though. Stack your right hip on top of the left one, and then maybe scoop one or two of your pillows underneath your right kneecap. With your arms, yogis, extend your left arm out by your side. Reach your right arm up and over. So your right elbow will be somewhere near your right ear. Keep your gaze high. You can keep your eyes closed too. You're kind of creating the shape of an L here in your body. We only got 2 minutes here in this posture. And we'll switch sides. Yogis, when you're ready, make your way back through center. You can place your props off to the side. Gather your knees into your chest. Feel your spine reset at neutral here. And then release your right leg long down on the mat in front of you. Clasp your palms underneath your left kneecap as you pull your left knee over and then up towards you. Feel that pinch in your left hip flexor. Drive your left knee all the way across your body so that your hips stack. Take a pillow, scoot it underneath your left kneecap. Draw your right arm out by your side like a wing and reach your left arm up and over so that your left bicep or tricep is right near your left ear. Keep your gaze towards the ceiling. And see what muscles you're still clenching onto, what you're still holding onto, what's still holding you back. From a deep surrender. Yogis, begin to make your way back through center. Place all of your props off to the side. Gather your knees into your chest. Squeeze. For our Shavasana today, or in Yin, it's known as Tentacle Pose, we'll take a variation, legs up the wall. So option 1, yogis, you'll just extend your legs up high towards the sky. But because we're at home, you might be near a wall. If you'd like to use it, yogis, scoot your butt as close as you possibly can get it towards the wall. And then you'll lie your back down on the ground. Continue to scoot your butt towards your wall, and then extend your legs up towards your wall. Again, the wall is not necessary. Maybe you're practicing outside today because the weather is really nice, or you're just not near a wall. That's all right too. Again, legs up the wall, our final Yin pose, our final Shavasana today. You can rest a hand to your heart, the other to your belly, or allow your arms to rest by your sides. Let's everyone take a big cleansing breath in. Open mouth, exhale, surrender, and release. It's all right if your feet are starting to feel a little bit numb, as all of the blood rushes down towards your hips. Getting the opportunity here to reset, to start fresh. When you, in a few moments, use these feet that are up and overhead to step off of this mat, see if you can continue to check in before you use your words, this really powerful tool of communication, that they align with the thing that rests below and above them, your heart and your head. Know that the highest form of you, the truest form of your self-expression, it is accepted, it is needed, and it is perfect. You're welcome to stay in this space however long you need it. If you're ready to begin your day again, you'll just bend your knees. If you are against the wall, yogis, come away from the wall back to your mat. And everyone will just gather our knees into our chest, kind of roll your ankles around, shake your knees and your calf muscles. Bend and straighten. Get the blood flowing again. Roll it to your right or left side for supported fetal pose, using one of your biceps as a pillow. Gather your knees into your chest and place your other hand to the earth. When you're ready, press yourself up to tabletop pose. You're facing the front of your mat again. And come to a seat with your glutes on your heels. Draw your hands together at your heart center. Feel your thumbs touch your heart. Close over your eyes. Yogis, draw your thumbs up towards your lips. Feel your thumbs tap your lips. You're ready, draw your thumbs up in between your eyebrows. Take a collective breath in. And a unifying breath out. I honor and am so thankful for the light and the love that lives in you, because it also lives in me. Given these things, we are united. We are the same. We are one. Bow forward together, saying namaste. Thank you all so much for showing up to share your yoga practice with me, and for sharing the truest expression of yourself, especially as you find it in this space and in the rest of your days. Again, yogis, my name is Amanda Mays. It's my honor and pleasure to be here with you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Namaste.